Opie stroll down to the lake at dawn with fishing rods in hand, and tunes they'll hum along, resting by the shore, watching ripples play. Andy points out birds in the dawn's golden ray. Oh, cast your lines, cast your lines, cast them where the water shines. Oh, cast your lines, cast your lines, cast them where the water shines. Andy's lessons weave into Opie's eager heart tales of love and life, and how to make a start with each passing hour. The bond deepens more in the small town sport, life's riches to explore. Oh, cast your lines, cast your lines, cast them where the water shines. Oh, cast your lines, cast your lines, cast them where the water shines. Skipping stones so smooth, laughter fills the air, and he shares advice with wisdom and with care. Opie's eyes so bright, learning life's simple art. In this peaceful moment, they're never far apart. Oh, cast your lines, cast your lines, cast them where the water shines. Oh, cast your lines, cast your lines, cast them where the water shines.
Explore strange new worlds on MeTV. Seek out new life.
I've seen old photographs of this period. Let's get out of here.
And new civilizations. Boldly go to Mayberry and the Andy Griffith Show. Weeknights at 8, 7 Central on MeTV.
I absolutely loved classic Star Trek growing up. Every day I would hustle home from school, quickly make sure that all my homework was done, just so that I could watch the adventures of Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, and the rest of the amazing crew of the Starship Enterprise. The show was on our only UHF TV station, KSDU TV 20, and it was on every single weekday from 4 to 5 p.m. And while I know that this sounds weird now, in the 70s we only had a handful of TV stations in the Salt Lake City area. We had 6 to be exact, but strangely enough, even though there weren't a lot of channels to choose from, I could always find something good to watch. Maybe I was less discriminating back then, or maybe, just maybe, the programs were actually better. Well, the latter is definitely the case with Gene Roddenberry's original incarnation of Star Trek. I thrilled at the adventures of the Starship Enterprise and their 5-year mission to explore new worlds and go where no person had gone before. Every day during recess I would pull out my hastily made paper communicator and pretend to be Captain Kirk. Sometimes I could convince some other nerd to play with me, but other times I would be on a solo mission, transporting down to a remote and potentially hostile planet on my own. Who knew what dangers I might find? One of my favorite episodes of classic Trek is the Hugo Award-winning Harlan Ellison-penned The City on the Edge of Forever. In this episode, Kirk and Spock chase a deranged Dr. McCoy through a time portal and find themselves in 1930s New York to ensure that time is not altered. I say New York, but it really wasn't. How do I know this? Well, growing up there were 2 other shows that I watched whenever I could. One was Gilligan's Island. Yeah, I know, save it for the comments section, folks. But the other was the Andy Griffith Show. And wouldn't you know it, instead of New York, I'm pretty darn certain that Kirk and Spock ended up in Mayberry. Just take a look at this scene with Kirk and Sister Edith Keeler, hauntingly portrayed by Joan Collins, as they walk down the street of this supposed New York City. Hey, wait, isn't that Floyd's barbershop in the background? Sure looks like it to me. The reality is that Trek shared various production lots with other shows, and one of them just happened to be the Andy Griffith Show. It's a little thing, but it made me smile way back then, and it still does even today. You know, I kind of like the idea of Kirk popping in for a trim around the ears. That seemed to be what Floyd did best. So there you go. Star Trek and the Andy Griffith Show. Two great television programs, and both of them made a lasting impression on a young man in Woods Cross, Utah. This live stream is sponsored by Friendly TV. With over 40 channels, many of them showing your favorite classic TV shows, Friendly TV is the low-cost streaming service for those of us who remember when television was truly special. I've added a link to Friendly TV in the description section of this video. When you use it to try it out free for 7 days, you will also be supporting this channel.
The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Good evening and welcome to the Good Stuff Live. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and if you enjoy talking about music, movies, mostly great TV like the Andy Griffith Show, well, you've come to the right place. Before I get started, a huge thank you to Friendly TV for continuing to sponsor not only this live stream, but the channel. I think that message that I played earlier said something about 40 channels. It's over 50 channels now, including, drumroll, MeTV Tunes. And yeah, you can get Friendly TV, 50 plus channels, Cloud DVR, all for about the price of a Happy Meal. That's the monthly cost. And believe it or not, yeah, just a fast food meal. It's not an expensive service, and it is my absolutely favorite streaming service, so I am absolutely tickled to be able to say that they are a supporter of the channel. All right, tonight we are going to talk about the Andy Griffith Show. I'm going to share, I think, maybe 3 videos plus a couple of vintage commercials from the Andy Griffith Show throughout the hour. And we'll end things with a mini trivia of 5 questions. But before we do all of that, I want to find out who's out there. I was looking at the chat earlier, and I see a lot of the folks that I normally see at my live streams, and that always makes me feel good. So let me scroll up to the very top here and say hello to channel member Lance Cheffin. Great to have you here. Lance says, love the Fun Girls. We will talk about them in a bit. Adrian James is here. My friend Justin Aylett is here. Going to do a collab with him in the not too distant future on a Three's Company episode. Kenneth Wilkinson, welcome. Great to have you here. Hey, look at this. A new channel member, Mr. Classic Video Gamer. Let's see what we've got there. We've got Missile Command, Pac-Man, and Defender. 3 of my all-time favorite Atari 2600 games, although I will say it's actually Mrs. Pac-Man. It was a much better version for the Atari 2600 than just the original Pac-Man. The sounds were better, the graphics were better, but I really loved Missile Command. I thought it was a great version for the 2600, and Defender wasn't too bad either. So great memories. I don't know you. I suspect you are a retro gamer. If you're into emulation at all, they did a great recently over the past, 3-4 years, there's been some programmers out there that have developed a really decent version of Pac-Man, the original Pac-Man, for the A2600 to play through emulation. And I'd encourage you to check it out. It's a lot of fun. All right, great to have you as a new channel member. Thank you, good sir, for your support. Let's see who else is here. I've got the first milestone message of the stream. This one from Lance Chafin saying, thanks, Dave, for all you do for us. Look at that. Lance has been a member for 25 months. Truly appreciate your support over the past couple of years, Lance. It's great to have you as a member of the community and as a supporting channel member. Thank you. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching the latest video that's out there, Advance Access for channel members, which is on Cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch. Let's see who else we've got here. Who else is hanging out? Look at this. Channel member Angela McCardle says, hey, everyone. And then she uses her milestone message saying, wow, how time flies when remembering the good stuff. Yes, indeed, it does. 16 months, well over a year that you've been supporting the channel. Thank you so much for all you do, Angela. Mr. Classic Video Gamer says, got to give honor and salute to classic era of amazing TV like my video games. Absolutely. Just such a special time, right? The 70s, the 80s, the 60s even. Just, I have so many special memories, especially, about not only television shows, but those games that you've got there, as well as a handful of others that were really special to me. Tracy Roth-Myers, channel member Tracy Roth-Myers, using her milestone message for the month, saying, hi, you guys and dolls. Tracy is going on 3 years as a channel member here. Wow. Thank you so much for your support, Tracy. You're one in a million, and I am so delighted to have you as part of my YouTube community. Channel member Angela McCardle says, I'm doing all right on vacation till next Friday. You can't beat that. Had a lousy birthday. Well, you can beat that. But it ended happy because I found a kitten outside in the rain that night by my garage. She was only 4 weeks old. Hey, a new member of the family. That's awesome. Let's see what else we've got here. Who else has popped in? I'm going to skip over just all the chit-chat amongst yourselves and try to get caught up. Mr. Classic Video Gamer asks, is Ernest T. Bass alive? I do not believe he is anymore. We're going to talk about Ernest in a bit. Let's see. 420, good evening to you, my friend. Great to have you here and on time. Thanks for joining us. Let's see who else is here. I'm going to just quickly scroll. You know, I'm going to miss somebody, and when I do, my sincere apologies. It wasn't purposeful. Trust me. Channel member Larry Potter says, Star Trek, the original series, for me, the best TV series ever. One of the best for me as well, my friend. One of the best. Let's see. I saw that New York style pizza, Lance. I'm tempted to give that a try. I've had 2 sons work at Little Caesars over the years, and so I'm quite fond of their food. Oh, channel member Sean Innes. Let's see. There he is. Says, hey, y'all. Great to have you here, Sean. Welcome to the live stream. My friend BK on the air, says Starfleet and Mayberry. That's back when I was showing that promo earlier. I'm going to be doing a collab with BK in the not too distant future as well. I'm hoping to do a series of collabs with BK. Where we kind of look at, well, not kind of, where we look at old time TV commercials and provide some commentary. Should be a lot of fun. Look for the first episode in the not too distant future. Yes, indeed, BK. It's going to be great. Love that Barry King. You got to check him out on the weekends. Saturday mornings, WBHF. Barry's there. Spinning the memories. Spinning the memories. Lamont Bradford's here. He says, I'd rather see Spock get a trim around the ears. That would be good. That would be good. Welcome, Lamont. The Celebrity Juicer, good to have you here as well. Baja, hola, ¿cómo estás? Let's see. 420 says, Dave, just heard your song. It's very good. Never make the beginning. You can listen to the whole song. Oh, wait, it's not. Is it on? I don't know if I published it over on my Retro Jukebox channel, but I will in the not too distant future. Let's see. Lisa A., welcome to the live stream. Larry Potter says, Summer of 66 was where I discovered 2 shows, The Green Hornet and Star Trek. 2 great shows, I might add. Dolph Quick says, hi, good to have you here. Dolph, welcome. Justin says, Dave, since you are an Andy Griffith aficionado, do you remember the episodes where he had his hand taped up for some reason? It wasn't part of the story. Well, Andy, on a couple of occasions, lost his temper. One was out of frustration, I believe, with cast and crew, and he hit a wall. And the other time that he blew his top was the JFK assassination. I've made a video on that one, but I believe when you see it on TV, that bandaged hand, it's a separate incident, and it is just Andy kind of losing his cool. You know, Andy Griffith the man was a little bit different than Andy the sheriff from Mayberry. William Lee, welcome to the live stream. Says, I am watching from Singapore. I love the Star Trek episode where they're going back to the Depression era. Love the song, or long the song as Kirk and the girl walked through the record shop. Don't remember the music. I'll have to go back and watch that again. Channel member Melissa Foster, welcome. Good to have you here. Russell C. Asterisk. Is that what that is? And then there's some fancy emojis there as well. I'm here, El Guapo, he says. Welcome. Good to have you with us. I hope everyone's doing well tonight as well, Lisa. Thank you so much for all you do, for being a channel member. I truly appreciate your support. BK says, I actually saw Gomer Pyle USMC first growing up. Great spinoff, of course. The Andy Griffith Show was wholesome and legendary. Nip it in the bud. Bigelow.65 welcome, says hello everyone. Hello Dave. And look at this, a super chat from my pal, great community member, channel member Larry Potter says, love you Dave and all your friendly supporters. Right back at you, my friend. Thank you so much for that super chat. What can I do? How can I say thank you for that? I'm gonna just throw maybe a hat trick of thank yous at you, and then I'll be right back, folks. Let's do this one first.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, Larry, you mentioned the Green Hornet, I believe, earlier. There you go, Robin battling Kato. If any of you believe that Burt Ward could have even held a candle to the great Bruce Lee, I'm sorry, I simply don't, despite the fact that Burt professed to them being friends and actually having trained with him. But yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for your support, Larry. It really is appreciated. All right, let me get back here. Let's get going. Let's see what else we've got. Sean says, watching TOS right now. Who mourns for Adonis, in fact. All right, great episode. And Lance mentions the Darlings. I don't know if we're going to talk much about the Darlings tonight, but we can. We certainly can. Tom McCluskey, a.k.a. the Hungry Jerk. You don't use that handle anymore, but I still think of you as the Hungry Jerk. Says, just picked up an autograph from Midori, the slave girl from Gilligan's Island. Wow, there you go. Cool. Gary Carpenter, welcome. Says, hey there, everybody. Back. Sorry to be late. My phone is acting up again. Let's see who else is here that I haven't said hello to. We've got the Birdman. Just wanted to say thanks to your channel. I am 35 and have discovered some great classic TV. Thanks for the work you do here. Well, you are very welcome, Birdman. And hope you continue to enjoy the videos on the channel. They truly are a labor of love for me. You know what? These shows, they were so formative for me, right? They helped me be the person that I am today. I'm very fond of many classic television shows, but certainly the Andy Griffith being one of those that's right up there at the very tippy top. Tuck Graff, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you with us. Good to have you with us. I'm only 3 minutes behind, so I feel like I'm catching up. Let's see, make sure I get everybody that I can. Russell C. says Bert has Bruce beat in other areas. We're not going to go there, but I know where you went. Okay, I think that is it. Welcome, everybody. So good to have you all here tonight. So, the first question I have for you, what was your favorite episode of the Andy Griffith Show? Now, it doesn't have to be your absolute favorite, but share with me in the chat an episode that you really enjoyed and why and why. I'd love to hear that, and I will, for those that do, I will share your comments on screen after this video. Here's one of my favorites. Not my absolute favorite, but one of my favorite episodes. The Pickle Story from Season 2 of The Andy Griffith Show is one of my favorite episodes. It's Mayberry at its iconic best as Andy and Barney pretend to enjoy Aunt Bee's kerosene cucumbers because they don't want to hurt her feelings. The reactions from Griffith, Knotts, and even young Ron Howard as they bite into her cucumbers is comedy gold, and truthfully, I never tire of watching this particular episode for just those reactions alone. That said, there are some great lessons learned from this particular trip to Mayberry RFD, so without any further ado, here are 5 things that I learned by watching Andy Griffith's The Pickle Story. The first thing that I learned is that Aunt Bee isn't quite the cook that history books make her out to be. Her homemade pickles are absolutely terrible, and try as they might, anyone who tries one can't help but grimace in absolute disbelief after tasting one of these little monsters. Even Aunt Bee knows that they aren't very good because at the beginning of this episode, she admits that she's decided not to enter them into the county fair this year. And it's not just Aunt Bee's pickles. Based on Barney's reaction here, it's fair to say that her ammonia-laced marmalade is near lethal as well. Second lesson learned is around Andy's parenting. It really isn't all that great, at least during this moment of extreme crisis. Sure, he does his best to explain to Opie why they're swapping Aunt Bee's homemade pickles for store-bought yumminess, and young Opie seems to understand. Still, this is one slippery slope. Their attempt to deceive Aunt Bee may be well-intentioned, but is it the right thing to do? As a parent, is Andy sending the right message to young Opie? Not sure on this one, folks, especially since we learned that there are unintended consequences, which lead right into the third lesson that I learned. Yep, unintended consequences are almost always guaranteed to raise their ugly little faces when one embarks down the path of a little white lie, or in this case, bottles and bottles full of little green lies. You see, winning the county fair pickle contest is something that Mayberry time. All right, we're back. Okay, so I asked the question, what was your favorite episode of the Andy Griffith Show? Or one of your favorites, right? And that answer can change tomorrow. I'm not holding you to it. But channel member Lance Chaffin said the Barbara Eden episode. Oh, that was a good one. It's called The Manicurist. Really great. Adrian, good to have you here with us. I'm doing great. Let's see. Lance also mentioned that he enjoyed watching the spin-off to the Andy Griffith Show, Mayberry RFD with Ken Berry. And thanks for keeping it PG, Russell C. Appreciate that. Lamont Bradford said, Opie the Birdman. Oh, yeah. What a great episode Opie the Birdman is. One of my top 5 for sure. And channel member Tracy Roth-Myers mentions that episode as well. You know, it's not as horrible as it makes it sound, but he does kill the bird. I don't think he understood what he was doing when he did it, but then he has to face the consequences. And the lessons learned in that episode, the lessons taught by Andy, were tremendous. Going off topic for a moment, Dolph says, if you can even lay one punch on Bruce Lee, you become a legend. or a dead man. I love that. Kenneth Wilkinson mentions another one of my favorites, The Christmas Story. Yeah, great one. Tuck Graff asks, I'd like to discuss whether the Andy Griffith episode Opie the Birdman had a laugh track. It seems to be in dispute. So I haven't watched it in a couple of years, and I've never been listening for that. But my recollection is that there is a laugh track, but it's just that it's used very sparingly in the episode. Oh, the SeaTac. That's another one of my favorites. I love Man in a Hurry and the message that is sent there, right? The pace of life in Mayberry versus the rest of the world. If only we could all achieve that. Channel member Angela McArdle says, the ones with Ernest T. Bass. He cracked me up. We will be talking more about Ernest T. in just a little bit. GarageBand fan -iOS says Barney's first car. That was a great episode too. And Lance mentions the haunted house one. I love that episode so much, which later on, of course, inspired The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. Channel member Lisa A says Citizen's Arrest is one of my favorites. It's the last Andy Griffith episode I watched with my mother. She was suffering from severe dementia. And to be able to spend the time with her and watch that, hear her laugh a couple of times, even though she had no clue that her son was sitting next to her, is a very special memory for me. Gary Carpenter says, Mr. Darling courted Aunt B. Oh, yeah, that's a great episode, too, where Mr. Darling decides he's going to marry Aunt B. Mr. Classic, channel member Mr. Classic Video Gamer says, just the ones with that are in black and white, they're the best. And I totally agree. I do like all of them, but the first 5 seasons, just fantastic. Let's see. Channel member Sean Innes says, so young, watched it in reruns, can't nail down just one episode. I can't either, truthfully. As you can see, I have a lot of special memories about a lot of those episodes. Shauna Heisler says, Barney's Sidecar, I would watch it with my son when he was a child, and he would imitate Barney driving by Andy's house. Hi, Andy. I love that. What a great memory. Russell C. says the episode where Barney gives the tour of the jail. These are our maximum security cells. Great stuff. Anything but maximum security, right? And Judy Alvarez, welcome to the live stream, Judy, says the only show you can watch with anyone of any age. It is very true. It appeals to all, right? And it's timeless. There we go. Man in a Hurry, Melissa Foster. She says, channel member Melissa Foster says, my favorite episode was the one where the man came into town on a weekend, was having car trouble, and got annoyed with Barney when he was telling Andy his evening plans. I love that when they're sitting on the porch talking about what they're going to do. Oh, The Loaded Goat. Another great episode, Gary. Totally love that one. Tutgraph says Clara could generate both frustration and sympathy, for sure. Channel member Larry Potter says, first season, a feud is a feud. Oh, yeah, another great one. With the Darlings, just one favorite, as it's a country version of Romeo and Juliet. Oh, wait, are the Darlings in that one? That might not be the Darlings. That's 2 other country hillbilly families that are feuding. And, of course, they have children that have fallen in love. It is great. Totally great. Bigelow.65. Oh, wait, I think that's just conversation amongst folks. Channel member Mr. Classic Video Gamer says, don't like homemade pickles. I'm more of a fan of the store-bought ones myself. Channel member Lisa A says, just a few days ago, I found out the girl, yes, that Opie took home from the dance was Morgan Brittany from Dallas. Indeed, she is. Oh, yes. Convicts at Large, Lance. Another great episode. Barney and Floyd the barber in that episode. So much fun, where Barney and Floyd get kidnapped by escaped women convicts. Yep. Gary Carpenter mentions that one as well. And channel member Angela McArdle mentions that one as well. It's a good one. And channel member Mr. Classic Video Gamer talks about when anyone was in jail by Barney. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Raja, 1938. Good to have you here, Raja. Welcome. Says, my favorite was Andy saves Barney's morale where he arrests the whole town. So much fun. And Don Knotts, right? The reason why those black and white episodes are so good really is because the power, the specialness of one actor, Don Knotts. So good in those episodes. Judy Alvarez says, what was the episode where an Opie finds the black money purse? I don't remember that one. Is that one that I've never seen? It's possible. I haven't seen them all. Bigelow.65 says, I think the one I like was the one that Opie follows the golden rule. Opie tells his dad that he was following the golden rule. Some kid hit him, so he hit the kid back. Let's see. Tuck Graff said, check it out, Dave. I noticed the lack of a laugh track a couple of years ago on TV Land afternoon airing. I've got it on DVD. I will check it out and see if that would be worthy perhaps of its own standalone video, if that is indeed the case. Channel member Lisa A says, bless you, Dave. Lost my dad to Alzheimer's. Horrible disease. Yes, dementia in all its forms is just, it's rotten, right? I can remember the exact moment my mother forgot who I was. And she never did ever remember me after that. And it was tough. We were in the hospital at that time. She looked over at my brother Steve, another YouTube creator, and she said, who's that guy? And she was gone. She wasn't out of my life because for the next 3 years or so, I still spent a lot of time with her. But she never remembered me. Channel member Gary Carpenter says, Andy Griffith told the story of Frosty's Winter Wonderland. Yeah, he did. Animated form of Andy. Channel member Mr. Classic Video Gamer says, my dad has stage 4 liver cancer, I'm guessing is what that is. My dad and I, our favorite show together. You know what? The memories, powerful memories that you can have watching TV shows together. A lot of folks look at that and they go, well, that's kind of a lazy way to spend time with family. And I totally disagree. I have some very special moments watching classic television shows with family members. Let's see what else we got. Channel member Lisa A says, those old lady bootleggers were funny. Barney busting the still. Yes. Dolph Quick says, I like the moments when Andy had to take Barney's gun away. BK, my friend Barry King says, Andy was always quick to thank behind the scenes personnel like Harvey Bullock, Sheldon Leonard, and Bob Sweeney for their talent and hard work. He sure was. Yes, Rich and Francesca Areola, welcome to the live stream, says, love the pilot. Oh, yes. The New Housekeeper, I believe is what that one's called. When little Opie says he wants Aunt B to stay because she can't do anything. Oh, and Tuck Graff says, I like the episodes with the gals from out of town. I think you're talking about the fun gals, the fun girls. And you know what? That's probably a good segue for another video. And I think I'll throw in a classic vintage commercial as well, if you folks don't mind. I think I'm going to get rid of that. After we get back, I'm going to ask you to share your favorite character besides Barney, Opie, Aunt B, and Andy, of course. What other characters are your favorites? So I'll ask you that in just a little bit. But first, let's do this.
Hey, Barn, want to watch Opie cross-examine me? He's been practicing.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Ope.
Now, Sheriff Taylor, did you not say that Post Toasties are the cornflakes crackling with fresh corn flavor?
Well...
Answer yes or no, please.
Yes.
And didn't you say that from field to flake, Post Toasties never lose their fresh corn flavor?
Yes
or no?
Yes.
That they're quick toasted to capture that fresh corn flavor. That they're so light and crisp they just about float into your bowl?
Yes.
No further questions.
That's pretty good, Ope. You want him to practice law, huh?
No, I want him to practice selling Post Toasties. Start your day a little bit better with Post Toasties. They're good.
Their names are Daphne and Skippy. They come from the big city, if we dare call Mount Pilot that. And Thumaloo? Well, she sarcastically refers to the pair as the Fun Girls. And you know what? All sarcasm aside, the 3 episodes that these crazy ladies were featured in are incredibly fun. In an earlier version of this video, Stephen Adams, a longtime channel subscriber, pointed out that the characters were way ahead of their time, and that a fun girls sitcom today would be a huge hit. And you know what? I don't disagree. I can see it right now, coming this fall to NBC. Of course, it would only make sense that every now and again, they'd have a special guest star swing by. Anyway, getting back to the Andy Griffith Show, whenever Daphne and Skippy hit Mayberry, I think it's fair to say that those girls were on the prowl. Oh my gosh, were they flirty. And it really did seem like they might have a thing for Andy and Barney. And guaranteed their appearance in town always meant trouble. Trouble with a capital T. Their first appearance was in an episode during Season 3 titled Barney Mends a Broken Heart. And as you can see, it maybe should have been more aptly titled Nurse Peggy Tends to a Blackened Eye. You'd think the boys would learn their lesson, but no. Because before you could say hello, doll, the fun girls were back to have another go with Andy, and okay, I'm gonna say it, Bernie. This time they interrupt work that the fellers are doing at the courthouse, and when Thelma, Lou, and Helen discover that their boyfriends have visitors, those visitors, in a huff they cancel their dates, and will Andy and Barney make the decision to take the fun girls out instead. Wise move? Doubtful, but wildly entertaining for viewers of the show for sure. Thelma, Lou, and Helen. Sure, they were the ones for Andy and Barney. The folks writing the scripts made sure of that. Still, I am grateful that for just 3 measly episodes, Andy and Barney, well, they were allowed to let loose and get a little crazy courtesy of the Fun Girls. Daphne and Skippy's final appearance was in Season 5, in an episode titled The Arrest of the Fun Girls. Again, things are complicated by their arrival because Andy and Barney have plans with Helen and Thelma Lou. Sound familiar? An elaborate scheme is set into place, and of course, because this is a situation comedy, things go crazily, wildly wrong, and because the Fun Girls are involved, well, they go even more awry. And you know what? That's the way it should be when these girls roll into town. The truth about why the 3 episodes with Daphne and Skippy are so much fun and so darn memorable is that it really did all come down to the 2 wonderful ladies who were cast as the Fun Girls. And although both of them had fairly robust careers in the entertainment industry, they will be forever remembered for their appearances on the Andy Griffith Show. All right, welcome back. And the question for all of you right now is, besides Andy, Opie, Barney, and Aunt Bee, who was your favorite recurring character on the show? Gary Tolman, welcome to the live stream tonight, says, I really enjoyed Gruber. Good old George Lindsay, right? Did you know that Gene Roddenberry actually considered him to play the role of Spock in Star Trek? That's what Ernest Borgnine says in his biography. I don't know. People have called me on that, but it's in there. Getting off topic for just a second, Sean Innes, channel member Sean Innes says, yeah, my mom did a long, slow decline. Hard to say when she forgot who we were. And this is key right here. We just focused on her as a person who always loved her dogs. I have a friend with an older wife she doesn't recognize. Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. Channel member Angela McArdle says, I liked Otis, Goober, and Gomer. Great, great characters, right? Let's see. Rich and Francesca Areola says, Miss Peggy was one of my favorites. Oh, yeah. Peg was so great, right? And Tatum O'Neill's mom. What is her name? I'm drawing a blank. I should know it. I've done videos on her. Joanne. Drawing a blank at the moment. But she was great. And I believe she had issues. She's a lot going on in her life. And as a result, she did not stay. But she sure was a good match with Andy, at least on screen. Kenneth Wilkinson says he liked Ellie. Yeah. You know what? She was great. Eleanor Donahue. It's funny when you're doing live streams, things you know, when you want to recall them like lickety-split, and you're sitting here on screen and you know you need to pull that out of that name out of your head real quickly. The older I get, the harder that does appear to be from time to time. Let's see what else we got. Gary Carpenter says Otis, Gomer, and Helen Crump the teacher were my favorite. There you go. Gary Carpenter says it's me, Ernest T. One of my favorites. I love it, and we will talk more about him in just a minute. Let's see. The Darling Family, says Gary Carpenter, reminds me of the Clampetts. They sure did, didn't they? They were fun, though. Channel member Melissa Foster says my other favorite character is Gomer. I liked his character a little bit better than Goober. So did I. Let's see. Russell C says I have to say my favorite was Eleanor Donahue as Ellie. Loved her on Father's Knows Best too. I love Miss Ellie on the show. She's great. Eleanor Donahue was fantastic. It's sad that she only stayed on for the first season. I'm sure Alan Hill Jr. was on the Andy Griffith Show, but I can't remember when. Let's see. Lisa A. Channel member Lisa A. says Ernest T. Channel member Lance Chaffin says Gomer. Gary Carpenter says, don't forget Denver Pyle. Yes. Lamont Bradford says Goober and Floyd. Love Floyd. Played by the great Howard McNear, right? Tuck Graff says, my favorite recurring character was any character played by Alan Melvin, the MVP of character actors, not just on the Andy Griffith Show, but on so many shows that were part of that kind of rural television shows that CBS had so many of during the late 60s. Thank you, channel member Lisa A, for telling me it's Joanna Moore. Yes. The CTAC says my favorite minor character was Mr. Schwamp. Yes, Old Man Schwamp. And the mystery behind Old Man Schwamp. Who played him? No one knows. No one's telling. If Ron Howard knows, he isn't giving it up. And I suspect he doesn't know. I've reached out to him and he has not responded to me. Nor did I expect him to. But I was hoping. Oh, is it Areola or Areola? You help me out. I'm guessing it's Areola. But you let me know if I'm saying it wrong now, Rich or Francesca, whoever's with us tonight. Channel member Larry Potter says Ellie Walker. Oh, yeah, she was great. Raja 1938 says, I was fond of Howard Sprague. Yes, maybe I'm the only one. You're not. I'm a fan of Howard as well. Wasn't my favorite character, but I'm a fan of him. I'm fond. Todd McCreary, welcome to the live stream, says, I really like the guy who comes to live in Mayberry. And also, I think that old guy who is going to get evicted for not paying his taxes, he's just such a cool guy. I like that. Rich and Francesca Areola says, I love Floyd. Tom McCluskey says, Howard. Let's see. Yes, I was glad to see him in Return to Mayberry as well. Sean Heisler says Rafe Hollister. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Tuck Graff says Alan Hale Jr. was the farmer who came to town for a wife. Yes, I do remember that episode. Larry Potter, channel member Larry Potter says, changing the subject, but love to have seen a crossover between Andy and the gang meet the Clampetts. Wouldn't that have been cool to see that? They weren't part of the same shared universe the way that Petticoat Junction and Beverly Hillbillies and Green Acres were. But it would have been cool. Gilligan was on there as well. Bob Denver played, what's his name? The character was played by another actor, and he marries the darling girl. But I can't remember his name right now. Texas Gina, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you with us. I'm struggling on that. Let's see. Someone help me out there. Oh, I can't roll my R's, Rich. I lived in Spain for 2 years and I can't roll my R's. Oh, and it's Francesca. Okay, Francesca. So I'm going to have to stick with Areola. I cannot roll my R's. I wish I could. If it sounded like I did, well, that was a fluke. People would make fun of me in Spain because I couldn't roll my R's. Life's tough. Tom McCluskey says my dad was friends with Alan Hale. And channel member Lisa A says Otis was hilarious. Channel member my Mr. Classic Video Gamer says my favorite was Gomer. And yes, Dud Walsh. Dud Walsh, right? Yeah. Yes, Gilligan was on there. The great Bob Denver. They had to replace him because he was off to play Gilligan. All right. Yes, Dud married Charlene. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm going to stop there. We're going to talk a little bit about the great Ernest T. Bass, the world's greatest rock thrower, if you didn't know. And then we're going to do a little trivia. Thanks so much for all the engagement tonight. It's been fantastic. You guys are the best. You guys are truly the best. All right, let me see what we can do here. I know I've got another commercial, and then I've got something on Ernest T, and then we'll do trivia. Be right back, folks.
Ah, could I have a little service, please?
Oh, hi, Andy. What'll it be? An ice cream soda?
Oh, no, thank you. I remember the last ice cream soda you gave me. Where in the world did you get the recipe to that? Lucretia Borgia?
I have something for you.
What's that?
Sanka coffee.
Sanka coffee? Did you say Sanka coffee?
That's right. It's a coffee that gives you the best of the coffee bean. Aroma, flavor, but no caffeine.
Is that the truth?
Sure. It's the modern coffee that's 97% caffeine-free.
No.
Yes, and that means you can drink all you want anytime you want.
Well, I'll be dogged.
Oh, you knew all about Sanka. Why do you lead me on? Do you enjoy that sort of thing?
Yes, sir. And the sponsor kind of gets a kick out of it, too. Try Sanka coffee, folks. I appreciate it, and good night.
Ernest T. Bass, perhaps the greatest rock thrower ever. This video won't, no, wrong word there, can't do justice to the character. Although he was only ever on a handful of episodes of The Andy Griffith Show, Ernest T. Bass made an unforgettable impression on a generation of TV viewers, and on me. If I were to try and describe just who and what Ernest T. Bass was, I would end up saying the same thing that Don Knotts' Barney Fife kept saying whenever Ernest would show up. Succinctly put, Barney would just exclaim, "He's a nut!" However, the actor, the very talented actor who played Ernest T. Bass, was anything but a nut. Howard Morris was a classically trained actor who first gained prominence on Sid Caesar's Your Show of Shows in the early 50s. Guest appearances on several shows followed, including a memorable Twilight Zone episode called I Dream of Jeannie. In addition to portraying Ernest T. on The Andy Griffith Show, Howard was a prolific voice actor. You can hear his work on such cartoons like The Jetsons, The Flintstones, Magilla Gorilla, and many other Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And along with directing episodes of The Andy Griffith Show, he was also a motion picture director. In fact, he directed Doris Day in her last movie, 1968's With Six You Get Egg Roll. But we're not here to talk about Howard Morris today. We're here to talk about Ernest T. Bass. I've already mentioned that he was an amazing rock thrower. I wish on the episodes that he appeared, instead of Opie chucking the rock during the show's intro, they would have modified it to have Ernest chucking a big rock instead, preferably into a glass window. Ernest was also an amazing escape artist. During his second appearance where he wanted to join the army so that he could get a uniform to woo the ladies, Ernest escaped multiple times from the courthouse jail cell. Ernest's list of talents is really quite long. He could do at least 18 chin-ups. But the one thing that always impressed me the most about Ernest was just how much of a romantic the man really was. Sure, he chucked rocks, but really, if you think about it, it was only to impress the ladies. Oh wait, and for revenge. But mostly because he wanted to be courting some sweet thing from Mayberry. I was so happy when he finally met Romina, and she pushed him to get an education. This episode, by the way, is my favorite of the bunch with Ernest T. in it. I really enjoyed the Mayberry version of My Fair Lady. The show was really clicking on all cylinders when they filmed that episode. only semi-related. In the 80s, whenever I would see Phil Collins in a video, whether it was for Genesis or one of his solo songs, I would think of Ernest T. Bass. The resemblance, just look at it, is uncanny. And we all know from Ernest's first appearance on The Griffith Show that he is a musician as well. So that's it. Ernest T. Bass. Truly one of a kind. Funny, warm, crazy, manic, hyper, and really awesome with a rock. Simply put, Barney was right. He was a nut that you could root for because in his own way, he was just trying to make his own sense of our crazy world. There you go. Great Howard Morris playing the world's greatest rock thrower. Just an absolutely nutty character, Ernest T. Bass. Loved him, loved him, loved him. A lot of the things he did on the show made absolutely zero sense, but that's what made him so darn special. Now, we're talking about in that video Howard Morris being a voiceover artist on many Hanna-Barbera cartoons, which reminds me to once again thank our sponsor tonight, partner of the channel. I'm talking about Friendly TV. For the price of a fast food meal, a crappy, depending on where you go, a crappy fast food meal, you can get Friendly TV, and it's 50 plus channels, many of them specializing in classic television shows, for an entire month, along with a cloud DVR that will record anything you want and hold it there for 3 months. It's amazing. I love it. It's my favorite streaming service. I've got a link in the description section of this live stream. Give it a try. You can try it free for 7 days using the link there. Just fantastic. And, you know, there's very few things that I actually, very few companies that I partner with that I allow to be sponsors. But Friendly TV is, well, it's my favorite, as I've said, my favorite streaming service. And because I can just get lost in it. There's some current cable channels on it, but I record everything, all the nostalgic shows on it, and just absolutely love it. All right, enough with the sponsorship stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I know it's actually cheaper, Russell C., than some of the combo meals. So sorry, I'm buffering on you. Hopefully I'm not buffering on everyone else. Angela, it breaks my heart when I hear that, though. Breaks my heart, especially since we've got trivia coming up. So here's how we're going to do it. It's mini trivia. I've got 5 questions. We'll do 3 questions. I'll get scores from everybody. We'll do the final 2, and I'll get final scores from everybody. Andy Griffith trivia. I'm going to get my timer ready, and we're just going to zip through these. I don't think they're overly hard. There might be one or 2 questions that are somewhat difficult, but I think everybody's going to do great. So here we go. Question number 1, timer engaged. What was the character Andy's last name on the show? Was it Taylor, Johnson, Griffith, or Fife? Again, what was the character Andy's last name on the Andy Griffith Show? So what was the character Andy's last name? Was it Taylor, Johnson, Griffith, or Fife? You can put your answer in the chat. You can just lock it in your noggin. You can write it on a piece of paper, whatever works for you. But the correct answer, folks, of course, is Andy Taylor, the first option there. All right, let's go to question number 2. Andy and Barney were really brothers. Let me get the timer going. So that's an interesting question. Were Andy and Barney really brothers on the show? I will tell you that there is an interesting revelation that is shared during one of the earliest episodes. It may be actually the very first episode, The New Housekeeper, around their relationship. But it wasn't that they were really brothers. That's the question. Andy and Barney, were they really brothers, true or false? The correct answer is false. They were cousins. And it was something that was alluded to during the first handful of episodes and never mentioned again. I think the screenwriters realized that, the writers realized that it just worked better as them being really great friends. Okay, number 3. Who was the county clerk in Mayberry? Timer engaged. Again, the question is, who was the county clerk in Mayberry? Was it Emmett Clark, Goober Pyle, Howard Sprague, or Floyd Lawson? Who was the county clerk in Mayberry? Emmett Clark, Goober Pyle, Howard Sprague, or Floyd Lawson? You know, if I were doing this one, I might play process of elimination to get to the right answer. Which is, of course, Howard Sprague. Moving on. Oh, wait. That's 3 questions. We zipped right through these. How about some scores, folks? Tell me how you're doing. Tell me how you're doing. I'll just look here. Let's see. Kenneth Wilkinson is 3 for 3. Nicely done, Kenneth. I have a feeling many of you are going to do well. Who isn't a fan of the Andy Griffith Show? Dolph Quick, 3 for 3. The SeaTac, 3 for 3. Rich and Francesca, in this case, Francesca Areola, great to have you here again. 3 of 3. And here come the scores fast and furiously. Christy Deanne L, 3 of 3. Channel member Sean Innes, 3 for 3. For 20 for 21 of 3. Russell C, so far so good. I'll take it out as 3 for 3. Cheryl Dillon, 3 of 3. Texas Gina, 3 of 3. Channel member Melissa Foster, 3 of 3. Channel member Angela McArdle, 3 of 3. Tuck Graphs, 100%. Channel member Justin Aylett, 1 of 3. And I was trying. I like that. Lamont Bradford, 3 of 3. Justin, you'll do much better with Three's Company Trivia. Gary Carpenter, 3 of 3. Hang on a second. I'm getting messaged. I'm being asked when I'm going to be done. Got to finish this up quickly here. Miss Channel member, Mr. Classic Video Gamer, 3 of 3. Todd McCreary, 3 of 3. Larry Pot, channel member Larry Potter, 3 of 3. Too easy. Harder, man, harder. David C2 just joined. Tom McCluskey 2 got hit on the cousins question, and Gary Tolman 3 of 3. All right, let's keep going. Question number 4. Which actor won an Emmy for his work on The Andy Griffith Show? Was it Andy Griffith, George Lindsay, Goober, Ron Howard, or Don Knotts? Hang on one second, folks. I will be right back. You can think about that. Oh, okay. I'm back. I did not turn on the timer, but that's been a lot of time. The correct answer is, of course, Don Knotts, who won multiple Emmy Awards for his work on The Andy Griffith Show. Final question. Who does Barney arrest? Here we go. Tougher question. Who does Barney try to arrest for jaywalking in Mayberry? Is it Opie, Emma Watson, Clara Edwards, or Helen Crump? Old Lady Crump. I'll engage a timer for that. And I'll let you all think about that while I sip on this lovely Diet Coke. Doesn't get any better than hanging out with you guys, talking about the Andy Griffith Show, and sipping on a Diet Coke. Life is good. All right. Again, the question, who does Barney try to arrest for jaywalking in Mayberry? Opie, Emma, Clara, or Helen? The correct answer is Emma Watson. And Andy, he gives her a pass because she's just too old. I don't know if you remember that episode. All right, let's get some final scores, folks. Go ahead and go full screen again. And let me go to the comments section here, and we'll get some final scores. Let me know how you did during those 5 questions. Was it 5 of 5 like my good friend Dolph Quick or Kenneth Wilkinson? Nicely done, folks. Francesca Areola is 5 of 5. The SeaTac 5 of 5. Channel member Lisa A 5 of 5. Texas Gina 5 of 5. Todd McCreary 5 of 5. You guys did great. David C 4 of 5. Channel member Mr. Classic Video Gamer 5 of 5. Channel member Angela McArdle 5 of 5. Woohoo! Yeah, Cheryl Dillon mentions Barney tried to fingerprint her. Classic Barney, right? Christy Deanne L, 4 of 5. Channel member Sean Innes, 3, 4, 5. Dropped the last 2. Channel member Melissa Foster, 5 of 5. Lamont Bradford, 4 of 5. That one was hard, right? I threw a tough one in there. I knew folks were going to be complaining about it being a little too easy. Cheryl Dillon, 5 of 5. Channel member Larry Potter, 5 of 5. Nicely done, Larry. And again, thank you for that super chat. Very kind of you earlier. Very kind of you. Tuck Graff, 5 of 5. Gary Tolman says, from Bountiful, Utah, right my neck of the woods, my friends. As a matter of fact, I have a friend named Paul Tolman. I don't know if you know him. 4 of 5. I know, Tolman's a really common name. But I thought I'd mention it and shout out to Paul. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Hope all is well. Let's see. Tom, we're only doing 5 tonight. Only doing 5. So it's a mini quiz. I only do 10 these days when I dedicate the entire live stream to trivia questions. And then I usually do a few more, like 13, something like that. Yeah, the last 2 were doozies. 420 was 2 of 5. Says it was hard. Yeah, I think it depends on how much you watch the Andy Griffith Show, right? But the key, and hopefully, what I hope, I really do, is that you just had fun, regardless of your score. Russell C was 4 of 5. The last one threw me a curveball. Yeah. And Tuck Graff says, I like the mini quizzes. I'm on a diet. I need to be on a diet. I need to work on that. All right, folks. Here's the deal. You've all been great. Like I said, talking about the Andy Griffith Show, hanging out with you guys, sipping on a Diet Coke. I do not know if life can get any better than that. Thank you for being with me tonight, hanging out, talking the Andy Griffith Show. Let's do this. I'm going to invite my friend Fred Rogers to share just exactly how I feel about all of you. But I hope you have, the remainder of the week, I hope it's awesome. And again, thank you so much for being here and hanging out tonight. You're the best.
You are special.
Thank you all for standing by through and through. It's the kind of strength that lifts the shadows too. And all I gotta say is thank you all, thank you all.
Click on that thumbnail cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.